It's Diane Evans with stampinwithdiane.com. I'm an independent Canadian Stampin' Up demonstrator here in the interior of British Columbia. So if this is one of your first times joining me, either through Facebook or through YouTube, welcome. I am so glad that you have joined me. And don't forget to subscribe or join the Facebook group. And the Facebook group is actually what's going to really help with what I'm doing today. And this is the technique class. This is how did they do that? And it's my technique. So what happens is after I do this technique, I go and tomorrow morning at 9:05, it'll be posted in my group. Now there is a link to the Stamping with Diane group, and you'll want to be in that group in order so that you can download this PDF. I really like this series. I'm so glad that somebody suggested that I do it. It's a lot of fun, and I am doing a lot of old techniques to begin with. Can't wait to get into those more trickier ones and everything else. But you know what? A lot of people have not used a lot of these techniques in a long, long time. So for the ones that have been stamping for a long time, it would be great that you get to revisit a certain technique. And then for ones that are just starting up, it's a brand new technique. So hello. I'm so glad that you've joined me. So remember, if you live in Canada and you don't have a demonstrator, just reach out to me. I do have a fairly generous reward program that goes along with online ordering. So when I got this stamp set, or actually when I first saw this stamp set in the J2D mini catalog, I knew I just had to do a certain technique with it. It just cries that technique. Anybody that knows me knows that I am not a autumn or a fall person. I'm not really into those oranges and that sort of stuff. So for me to do this, I had to go into some other colors. Now, when I saw this set, I thought of a really old designer series paper that oh, it's 9:30 in Australia, Margaret. Oh, that's good. At least I haven't got you up at the break of dawn. But anyways, there was a designer series paper. It was called Splendor. I can't remember, but it had the colors that were in it was taken with teal. Well, we don't have taken with teal anymore, and Cajun Craze. So I'm going to try, and I'm going to kind of emulate that one, and I'm going to use Bermuda Bay, and we're going to use another color with it. So the technique that we're doing is the baby wipe technique. It just cries out. Now, one thing that does happen with this, when I did try it, it tends to get not muddy, but you don't see the detail on the leaves as much. You might be good to, this would be a great stamp set to stamp and then also do daubers with as well. But what a great thing. I love the fonts that are on here. Anyways, this just reminds me of my front yard, actually, because I have a beautiful maple tree that has pink leaves, if you can believe it. All right, so this is great to use with solid stamps and images that you want more than one color on it. So we are going to make our own stamp pad, and that's exactly what the baby wipe technique is all about. So what you're going to need are some baby wipes. Mine are the good old ones from Costco, and I hope that they're wet enough because you definitely want them to be wet. They need to be wet. I'll just put this off to the side here and you'll see that. And a lot of people use, you can tell how old my corral is. A lot of people use paper plates, not paper plates. They might use a styrofoam plate or something like that. I don't like to put that stuff back into the environment. So I'm using a plate that I can just wash off and then just throw the wipes away. I'm going to use 3 of these. I'm hoping that's not going to be too much, but I'm going to use 3 of the wipes. It doesn't matter what kind of a baby wipe. Even the dollar store ones will work just fine. So what you want to do is you want to fold those. Now I'm going to add one extra thing in here. I'm just going to spritz some more water on here. I found when I first did this, the baby wipes weren't wet enough. So what was happening, they weren't actually I wasn't getting my stamp pad that I wanted. So what you want to do, there's a few things. You want to start with your darkest color first. I'm going to start with Bermuda Bay And I'm going to use Cajun Craze. And another color that I'm going to use is Soft Seafoam. And that's really quite a contrast. So I'm going to, now this stamp set also, I kind of want it to be more bluish up here and Cajun Craze here. But you know what? I'm not going to have too much control over that. But I'm going to go ahead and put my drops of re-ink. So see, so important to have re-inkers, right? So we have that. I'm going to go in with my Cajun Craze. And what you want to do is you want to have some space between it, because what you're going to do is you're going to come in with the lighter color and put that on there. I'm going to actually put a tiny bit of Cajun Craze down here and see how that works. Because say they're all going to be different. There's no right, wrong way or anything like that. So now this is the Soft Seafoam. And I'm going to kind of just fill that part in. This doesn't muddy as much as you would think that it would get muddy with these different colors in there. Let's see. I'm going to put some more in there. Now, I'm hoping that this is going to turn out okay. Now, on a new stamp set, and I'm going to tell you this, and I took this and I found that it wasn't stamping very well. So what I did was I just took an artist eraser and I just rubbed that onto my stamp set, and of course then got rid of the debris, and I found that it worked a lot better. It just had a film, I guess, on it that it didn't work very well. So I'm going to bring in a scrap piece of paper and let's give it a try and see what it looks like. You'll be able to tell whether or not if it's inking up. I'm not moving it around too much. It is inking it up, but I don't think that's going to be enough. So we're going to probably have to add more re-inker. But that's not too bad. Oh, darn, I wish I'd put that on a piece of paper. All right, so I'm just going to ink it up. I'm kind of moving it around a little bit, but nothing to, I'm not smearing it all over the place is what I want to say. So let me bring in my cardstock. So I'm using a base of Bermuda Bay, and it looks like I have a mark on there. This is 4 1/4 by 5 and 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2. So I'm actually going to put my card base onto the front there and cover that piece up. And then I've gone ahead and I've used Cajun Craze. Originally what I was going to do was I wanted to use some of that Soft Seafoam in there, but it just didn't work for me. It wasn't quite doing what I wanted it to do. So this is Cajun Craze, and it's been done with, I've done it through the Type Worn embossing folder. Now I'm thinking, excuse me, I'm thinking that maybe what I might want to do is just put some of this. We'll see how this looks. We just want to kind of put that around the outside. This is such a pretty thing, these and just like it's kind of like a designer series paper. Whoops, oh dear. And we're going to cover up that part there so it won't matter. I'm going to want to clean that off before I use it. Okay, so then now I have 2 pieces of basic white, and they happen to be, this is 3 3/4 by 5 inches. So this is going to be 3 1/2 by 3 inches, and this one's 3 1/2 by 1 3/4. And what I want to do is I kind of want to have that put on there like that and like this. But I'm not going to put those on there yet, because what we're going to do is we're going to stamp first. So let's hope that stamps. It looks like it's going to. You can kind of see. Maybe I'll just do a little bit more. And I'm going to just bring this over like so. Now this is where I cross my fingers. Woo, that turned out beautiful. Oh my goodness, I'm very pleased with that. It's a lot better than the ones that I had done to begin with. Yeah, a little bit of a blob there, but you know, it's all about the stamping. All right, so this, see how that Bermuda Bay and the Cajun Craze really do show off one another. Now, I thought what would be a good idea is to also put this, what are they called? It's a maple, these are the seeds anyways. They're the nuisance because they're the ones that I get so much maples in my, okay, so I'm just actually going to put this right up about like so. Okay, it's got more, maybe I want more Bermuda Bay. So let's just try on the back side of this. And we'll see which one we like best. Anyways, so now I've got lots of ink that I can use for doing a bunch of different cards. And then what I want to do is I want to put this words on here, this thinking of you. And I think I'll do that in Bermuda Bay. Maple keys, a key? Okay. I learned something today. I did not know that. Well, put it this way. They're a maple pain in the neck from my yard. I do love my maple trees. However, they are a pain. Keys. Interesting. All right. And then what I thought might look okay, and I'm just going to give it a try. I'm not too sure how it's going to look, is I'm going to come in. I have my Bermuda Bay and I have my Cajun Craze. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to sponge some of this on here. To me, it's too stark white. And just a tiny bit. Oh, you're from Ontario, Rabina. Oh, is that what they call them back there? Just a little bit. We're just, like I say, I'm just taking off that stark whiteness. You'd think I would know what they're called because I've been in this house now for 28 years. I cannot believe it's been that long. Oh my goodness. And then I want to come in with some Cajun Craze. Just a little bit. Oh, I should have done that other one. Darn it. Okay. And then, see what I mean? This stamp set just said that you had to do the baby wipe. This one actually was one I was going to use for next week's class. And I just might. I might just use it. It just depends how it turns out. I'm going to have that pre-recorded because I'm heading out maple keys, maple syrup. Okay. Well, I love maple syrup. And nothing like the maple syrup and apples from Quebec. They put our apples to shame, that's for sure. Okay. So now we can go ahead and we can put this onto here. Isn't that pretty? Oh my goodness. Really, if you saw this in real life, oh, it's so pretty. So let's come in with my glue. Sure like this glue now. Let's just put this like this. Now, when I had done this technique before, see, I did get some orange in here, but I didn't want to do, whenever I do an autumn card, just because they're not my colors, I don't like my card. Now, This is the part I'm kind of excited about. We'll see how this next part works. There we go. So this is going to go onto this part right here. And I think even like those maple keys really help around that. Oh my goodness. So Peggy says her grandpa had a sugar bush in Southern Ontario. Best maple syrup. Wow. I always wanted to go to Montreal and go to the Sugar Shack. And that's where they spread the maple syrup. And then you just, yeah. Anyways. All right. So like I say, we've done that. And then I'm going to tell you about a different, like another one. Now, remember seeing this ribbon in the JDD mini catalog? It's gorgeous ribbon. And what does it go with? It goes with the lights and everything else. And I was playing around with that. And take a look at this. I went and I colored. And I'm actually going to go ahead and I'm going to color that way. I colored half with the Bermuda Bay and half with the Cajun Craze. Then I'm going to wrap it around and see how we can change the color of our ribbon. It's amazing. So that was Bermuda, the dark Bermuda Bay and the dark Cajun Craze. I just love this gold in there. It's so pretty. Let that dry just for a little bit. Oh, wow. See, that's the thing is people that have been stamping for years and years and years, they do forget about these techniques. They're isn't that neat? Anyways, I think that's pretty cool. I like it when I can change up my ribbon. So let me just put that onto the back. I'm just going to come in with my tear and tape. I really like tear and tape to secure the ribbon down. Oh, where did my take your pick tool go to? I know I had it upstairs. And I had that because I was putting embellishments on some cards I was sending out. Okay, anyways, we're just going to do this. And I'm doing like a faux bow is what I'm doing. That's why so I'm just going to, let's see, do I want, it does look like teal though, doesn't it? Okay, I'm just going to wrap that around there. Wrap this around there. We'll just cut this part off. And then, of course, I'm going to have to color some more for my faux bow. These, all of these open weave ribbons really lend well to different coloring. Like the in colors, last year's in colors worked just great for in colors or for coloring as well. Like I say, this was, this kind of looks like this taken with teal, not quite. But I just loved Cajun Craze and taken with teal together. So I'm just going to let that dry just a bit. So while we're actually letting that dry, I'm going to put that, whoops, I'm going to come back in with my tear and tape and just putting this on here. And then that way that tape's not going to go anywhere. I'm not taking it off, but that tape, that ribbon is not going to go anywhere. How many times do you pull a card out? I know I've got a bunch of cards that my mom had made me and all the ribbons starting to come off. That's why I do the double tear and tape. All right, so let's just put that on there like that. And we will now put this here. And put it right across there. I can move that if I want. I really like that ribbon. Oh my goodness. I You can see coloring that with cherry cobbler and evening evergreen. Oh my goodness, that would be so pretty. Now that kind of breaks up that piece there. I could have put it somewhere else, but I kind of like it like that. Now the inside of the card, I'm going to come and put one of those maple keys. I'm so excited. I know the name of them. I call them seeds. Let's see how this is going to work. Okay. Let's put that right about there. There we go. And now we'll put that on the inside. I should make up a bunch of cards like that. Put this on the inside. And this piece is 3 3/4 by 5 inches. There we go. And let's see. Just cut that one just a bit more. It's my dedicated scissors that I lose all the time. Don't know how you can lose something with that big bobble on the end. But anyways, now what we want to do is we want to put some embellishments on there. And the embellishments I thought would be the best are these brushed metallic adhesive back. So let's see how that looks. Now I'm thinking gold because of the gold in here. So there. One there. And one there. All right. So there's the baby wipe technique. I hope you like that. I hope you're going to give it a try because, like I say, it's one of those oldies but goldies. You know, it's something that you can make your own stamp pads with. The key is to make sure that the baby wipes are wet enough. Mine were not wet enough, so I actually put some water in with it. So the first time I did it, wasn't too good. Another thing is you could use this just as a background. So what I could actually do is just show you. I'll actually just show you how that would work. So just bring this like this. So if I wanted to have and this could be. So, of course, what you want to do is you want to turn your cardstock just like that. And there we go. So there you can have, you've made your own designer series paper as well. So I'll put a picture of that on there so that it reminds you that you can do it as a background or you could do it as a focal point. This was where I wanted to go, was with the focal point on this particular card. All right. So what's happening? Tomorrow is, let's see, it is, oh, thank you. Don't forget, it will be in my group. I will have a copy of this PDF. I will also have the sample that I have here. Maybe I should bring that back down and show you that. I put your sample here. Put a sample of that. Also, I will have a picture of this card. It'll be there, and I'll give you the measurements, and I'll give you the instructions, like for what the sizes of everything was on here, and the main stuff that I use. So, like I say, I hope you enjoyed that. This will be on a blog post. I believe I'm going to put it on there on Monday as well. But anyways, so mystery challenge tomorrow. I will give you 3 clues tomorrow. I have no idea what I'm doing. And then Thursday it'll be that now what. I do have my sketch challenges pre-recorded because I'm leaving for New Orleans on Saturday morning for a Stampin' Up event. We're going to do a couple of live things, hopefully from New Orleans. I'd love to show you part of our cooking class that we're taking and maybe our haunted pub crawl that we're going to do. I don't know what we're going to do, but we hope that if anything, I'll take some videos and I'll take lots of pictures to share with that. But that should be fun. And I'm hoping that I have my technique pre-recorded for next week. I know what I'm doing. I just haven't done the pre-recording. So thank you so much. Remember, the best form of a best compliment that you can give me is to share my video. Give me the thumbs up, share it with somebody else. Somebody else might enjoy doing this technique. Tomorrow, 9:05. The PDF will be up in the files section. So if you missed out on any of them, just go back to the file section, and all those different techniques are there for you to turn around and print off. So have a great day, and we will see you tomorrow. Tomorrow, 3 o'clock Pacific time. Bye for now.